going on, guys? It's Bengt. Welcome back to another video. Quick one for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about sacrifices, the things that are necessary for you to reach your goals, to reach the place in life that you want to be. And oftentimes, more frequently than not, the things that you're still doing are holding you back more than the things that you're not doing. When it comes to our goals, when it comes to our, life missions, our purpose, and all the things that we want to do, oftentimes we know exactly what we're supposed to do. If we can imagine that perfect reality where everything is going exactly how it's supposed to, where we're like 100% disciplined and we wake up and just have like a 100% focused, productive day, you know what that looks like, right? And you know all of the things that you should be doing in order to achieve that. However, that's easier said than done. And a lot of times, the habits and productivity and things like that need to be stacked. So if you want to go from 0 to 100, you probably got to have to focus on going from 0 to 10 first. And that's a much more realistic, much more attainable lifestyle transition if you're trying to optimize your life around achieving a certain goal. Now, I'm sure probably you guys have heard of like the 80-20 rule, right? Where 80% of your results are responsible or can be attributed to like 20% of what you're actually doing. And you can inverse that and flip-flop it, right? So like 80% of your failure and 80% of your shortcomings and the reasons why you're not hitting your goals can be attributed to the 20% of the things that you're still doing. It's more likely the bad habits that still exist in your life, not the new ones that you need to replace it with. Because if you try to just optimize your life around achieving your goal, and you start trying to build all these positive habits into your life, but you don't kick the bad ones first, you're kind of just negating and equalizing all of your effort, right? You might still make a little bit of progress here and there, but you know that you're not doing as much as you probably could or should be doing if you want to be on the timeline that gets you to where you want to go as fast as possible. So I encourage you to take a look at your life and look at the things that could maybe be considered bad habits or things that are holding you back, and focus on that 20% of things that you still are doing that you know you shouldn't be. And focus on not doing those things, and then watch how the things that you know you should be doing automatically sort of, just by default start to fill in those gaps. You know what I mean? When you start not doing the things you're not supposed to be doing, the things you're supposed to be doing start to fill their places, right? It's hard to eliminate things from your life. You get bored, you have all this time, you know what I mean? And as you free up your time, as you free up your money, as you free up mental bandwidth by, separating yourself from negative habits and routines and people, maybe even, you start to take all of that time, money, resources, mental space, and clarity, and you can apply it towards what you actually want. Now, another component of this is oftentimes, when we write down our goals and we think about what we want, we think about what we're willing to do to get it. Instead, think about what you're willing to sacrifice. What am I willing to give up to have this other thing that I want so badly, right? Earlier this year, when I was writing down my goals, I decided to do something a little bit differently this year. And typically, around the end of the year, beginning of the new year, I write down my goals for the year. I have like a couple things, both personal, professional, and then just like a life goal in general. You know what I mean? So this year, when I was writing my goals down, I decided to, instead of writing my goals and the things I was going to do to achieve them, or maybe writing affirmations or having the plan written down as far as what I was going to do to achieve them, I instead decided to write down what I was willing to give up. And so far, I've noticed that by giving up those things, I have indeed actually made noticeable progress towards getting to where I actually want to go, towards meeting those goals that I had. And it didn't come from me necessarily implementing a bunch of new positive habits and habit stacking and biohacking and optimizing my sleep. I still try to do those things. I still try to meditate when I can and journal and write positive affirmations, and I go to the gym, as often as I possibly can. I do all the things that I know I'm supposed to do, but they're not something that I've locked myself into where I have to do them in order to feel like I'm being productive and I'm on the right path towards reaching my goals, right? For me, the better benchmark is, am I not doing the things that I know are detrimental to my own success? And that's a much better, much easier way to measure, your progress towards your goals. Because let's be honest, there's going to be days where you slip up. There's going to be days where, stuff happens, things come up, and, maybe you weren't the most productive. Maybe you weren't the most focused, right? But that day can still be a win for you if you didn't do the things that are actually setting you back and moving you backwards on the board, right? If you imagine like the progress bar from where you are to where you want to be, as long as you're only doing things that are moving you forward, even if you have a day where it's neutral, right? Not a net benefit, not a net loss. As long as you don't move back, that's still a win, right? Progress, keeping it and maintaining it is priority. You know what I mean? So as long as you're not taking steps backwards, that's a win, because at least you sustained the progress that you've made so far. So I encourage you guys to think about that when you're coming up with your goals. I know a lot of you guys are probably, thinking about stuff, measuring your progress, and we're basically into quarter 2 of 2023, which is absolutely crazy. This year's been flying by, but for me, I'm kind of at a stage right now where I'm reevaluating some of the things that are going on in my life, and I'm thinking about, okay, have the things that I've implemented this year gotten me to where I want to be so far? And where's my progress? How much have I accomplished? How much closer am I to where I want to be than I was at the start of this year? I can look back and I can honestly say that, I'm close. I'm not as far along as I thought I would be, but then again, I'm a pretty ambitious person and I set the bar really high for myself. So oftentimes in reaching for that, I end up achieving the things I want anyway. It just takes me a little longer. And even though my goals are realistic, my timeline that I try to set for myself to achieve them oftentimes is unrealistic. So, that's something that I just kind of know about myself. But generally speaking, I can say that the practice of eliminating negative habits that stop you from achieving the things you want and focus on sacrificing things instead of focusing on trying to implement new behaviors has been much more effective for me making progress towards my goals. So I hope you guys found that helpful. I hope you guys are motivated. Hope you guys are crushing it for 2023, reaching towards your dreams, reaching towards your goals, and becoming the best version of yourself. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a real one. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. Again, I hope you found some value in that. If you made it here, you're a real one. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Stay up, guys. Stay blessed. Love y'all.